Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities, work our way through the dollar yields, precious metals, and commodities and ETFs that I follow. I'm going to give you my financial opinions about all of it. And if you need any help, you can check out finding-value.com. We still have that 50% discount on the first month. It does end on the 15th of the month. The discount code is August. So let's dive in. Let's see what's going on with commodities today and what's driving all this. So we're going to start with the DXY. We had a very volatile DXY today. We were down in the morning. This is what it looks like on the dailies. We were down in the morning, and a lot of action was going on in the morning with commodities heading higher. We saw gold and silver take off. We had rates that were down all in the morning. But if you notice, the dollar and rates went up throughout the day. And it kind of killed the momentum of the day across the entire sector there, across a lot of different sectors. So this was the night, came down, and then we bottomed and we started to come back up again. So the dollar had a big move in terms of its range today, and we bounced off that support level. And are we going to go higher? Are we going to go lower? You know, we very well could go higher. I mean, it is a possibility. And the interest rates and the dollar are holding down commodities in the very short term. It seems like, definitely in precious metals, it definitely seems that that's the case. Now, I don't think it's going to be like that forever. And rates are going to probably continue higher, is my guess. And we're going to go and look at rates here. Rates could continue higher here, at least on the 10 and 30-year yield. They look pretty good. The 2-year yield, I'm still kind of mixed on this, as we don't have a bunch of large up candlesticks. We've got one right there, which is the bottoming bullish engulfing, but this isn't a convincing move higher. Kind of like we're just working our way sideways on the 2-year. The 10-year definitely looks strong. So we pulled on back. We gapped lower in the morning, and we came up with a lot of momentum. And this does look like it wants to continue higher for the 10-year, and even the 30-year also looks quite strong. There's that big bullish engulfing with yields potentially going higher, which means bond prices are going to fall most likely. TYX, TNX, the curve did invert a little bit today, more so. And gold and silver don't like yield curve inversion. It likes the curve uninverting with yields going down and the dollar going down. That is what drives gold higher. But right here, again, I don't know short term where this is going to go in terms of the TYX, TNX ratio, but it does look like the 30-year and 10-year want to go higher. And what that relationship is, I don't know if the curve's going to continue to invert or if it's going to uninvert with the yields going on up. And that's something we're going to have to watch. We could go up in this ratio, have the yields go up at the same time, where the curve kind of uninverts but goes higher for a period of time. And it won't necessarily be some huge tailwind behind precious metals. It might be, but again, I don't think it will be. Bond prices down 1.65%. I'm sure we've got a little. I mean, this looks like a pretty strong selling pressure day here today, guys. We could see bond prices fall further. And we did jack to the downside here. You can see this breakout to the downside, and we could roll and keep going further to the downside where the pricing of bonds goes lower, the yields go higher, and that is what it looks like is going to be the case. And that's the market conditions. So we've got a lot of bond issuances by the Treasury, and it could be flooding the market. Gold, basically flat. We're up against that support level here at 1913, so we're right on support. It ran in the morning. Here's the dailies. We ran with that yield going up. Let me put the yields up here real quick and show you guys how this is all correlated. So here's TNX. We'll put it in a new pane. You can see the yields. The yields came down further, and then they started rocketing higher here, and you can see that gold did not like that. Didn't like it. Said, no, 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 buddy. We're coming back down. So yields and the dollar are tied together, which is also tied to gold. They are all intertwined and interconnected. And we're back to that support level. Silver, basically flat, up 0.22%. Platinum getting a kick in the butt here, up 2.6%. My boy Platty coming into the game. I like it. Hopefully this momentum can continue. We start moving on up. Would I be a buyer here? Yeah, I probably would be. And I don't know. I mean, I think platinum's going to outperform. I think when inflation comes back into the mix, whether it's from stimulus, money printing, credit expansion, whatever it is, I think platinum hopefully will be the first to respond. We get a nice good move on platinum versus the other metals. Hopefully we go to a level that is very expensive against the other metals so I can trade my platinum for other metals and continue to increase my ounces in my stack. XAU to gold ratio, it's holding in there against gold. So the gold and silver mining companies looks like it's trying to put in a bottom here. And we're up above support. We're kind of squeezing in this corner here. So we'll see where we go. That actually looks a little bit better than gold itself. The CRB index, I know we had some selling pressure today. It looks like we got a little bit of resistance coming. That was a great line there. Looks like we got some resistance coming up here. And we'll see if we can break it. Maybe we move sideways for a little bit before heading higher. But again, I think it looks good. Momentum's higher. We've broken out. Everything looks good. We're just getting a little bit of resistance right where we're at. We do have resistance here as well, or support now. So we basically we're hitting our head on this right here. You can see we hit it a couple times all over the place. So it's a little sticky where we're at. It's oil is really what we're basically charting here. And we're just sticky right where we're at. CRB to S&P 500 down a little bit. But the momentum is still to the upside. Still looking good. GDX flat. GDXJ flat and SILJ flat. Miners flat and gold down a little bit. Crude oil down a little bit more today, 1.82%. We are above this sticky resistance line, and we may come back and tap it again. Do a little tap, tap, taparoo. If you know what movie that's from, put it in the comment section. Tap, tap, taparoo. So we could come back, knock this guy's support, maybe head higher. Again, I'm not trying to get the short-term nailed. I just know that we're heading higher. We're above support. Everything looks good for crude oil. Nat gas getting a lot more selling pressure today, and we could see further downside in nat gas. It's a bearish engulfing here. That means there's a statistical probability, 60-70%, that this could head lower in the short term. We do have a little bit of support coming through here, so maybe we only come back to this support level that I just drew in there. And maybe that's all she's got. We'll have to see what the response is. XOP selling off a little bit. We're up against that resistance area. There we are, up against resistance. We got to break through it. This is an inverted, massive inverted head and shoulders that is playing out. And we're just up against resistance. OIH also looking all right. And we're still above support. Everything looks good. We just got to be patient here, guys. Sprott Uranium Trust putting in the bloody nose. So we got a couple of bloody noses here. What this is telling us is that we're up against resistance. There's some selling pressure up here. The buyers are holding it down, though. So it's basically pinned on support and up against resistance. We're right up on this resistance line, and we're trying to break. When this thing breaks, it's going to be an animal, guys. We're going to see uranium rip it. At least that's my expectations. We're going to rip it. Rip it to shreds, guys. That's what we're hoping for. URA, we were ripping it this morning. Felt good. Their count was looking good. And then I looked later. I was like, why the face, guys? Why the face? Why are we coming on back? I thought we were going to rip it here. I know Australia stocks had ripped it. But URA, it's still sitting good. We're still up against support. Everything's all right. Just more patience, guys. And some of the companies, you know, you got another buying opportunity, so to speak. But we're up against this resistance line right there. We just got to break. URNM up 0.5%, making a little bit of headway. Not the headway I'd like to make as it gapped up, ran up, and then came back down. I don't like seeing that momentum. This is what it looks like on the daily. We ran hard in the morning, and then we just came back, and now we're kind of right up against support again. But hopefully we can get some momentum, guys. The charts all look really good. We just need some follow through. Again, it doesn't matter how you open; it matters how you close. So you've got to close strong. URNJ gapped up. You can see the little bit of a gap there. It ran up, came back down. If we were to do the daily on it, this is the daily candlesticks. You can see we gapped up, came up real nice and strong, and then we came and deflated throughout the day. Are we going to pull back or something like that? Nah, I wouldn't say that. I mean, maybe a little bit of a pullback, but let's see what happens here. The charts look really good in uranium across the board. I'm not convinced that this momentum is completely killed. And what did kill the momentum were those interest rates just rocketing to the upside. Maybe the Fed's in there holding this thing all, trying to hold it all down through interest rates. TAN heading a little bit lower. This guy is still kind of leaking out with the rates going up. COPX still within the pattern. And I still think that copper looks fine. And we'll look at copper here shortly. Diversified mining companies still looking all right. They still look good. Lithium, this was running in the morning too. I saw that. And maybe we still have another chance to buy this thing. Right in this general location is a pretty good spot to be looking. It's called a retest, and it's a breakout of this falling wedge, and hopefully we can get some momentum to the upside. REMX is in the same situation. I think it's in a very good location to potentially be looking at it. Doing a retest on the falling wedge. S&P 500, zooming in on the dailies here. We were strong in the morning when dollar was weak. Yields were coming back. Feeling strong is strong. And then reality set in, wait, what's going on? The yields just started rocketing to the upside. So basically flatten the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. Not much headway gained today. And it still has downward momentum. Emerging markets holding its ground, even though the dollar and yields were strong, but I still think this is going to work its way on up. Good entry point in this general location. XHB, that was strong this morning too, but that had a nice head fake throughout the day. Ended down 0.7%, just moving sideways. Moo getting a little bit more selling pressure here. This is a bearish engulfing. We could head lower if it wants to dip to the downside here. A possibility. Copper still within the pattern here, but it looks like it's now playing with the downside of the pattern. We'll see if we spill out here and if we regain false breakout. What's this going to look like? We're going to have to wait and find out. We're going to have to see if rates continue higher and if the dollar is going to keep moving up and if we lose some of those tailwinds. Iron ore still moving sideways in the pattern. I still think it looks fantastic. 1, 2, 3, and this can break or it can pull back, either or. It can do either one. And I think we're getting close to a break in iron ore. Nickel down a little bit, and nickel could pull back. We're up against support. We're getting a little bit more of a bearish setup here, and we have to see how the week closes. Aluminum still holding on, still looking good, right in that support region, right above it. Baltic moving sideways. I think Baltic still looks good to go higher. Breaking out of that falling wedge. We've got Newcastle coal starting to base here. I think that looks good to go higher at some point. And then we have Bitcoin moving sideways, and I think yields have something to do with this, and same with Ethereum moving sideways. Still looks good to go higher, though. These are not large selling pressure days. So everything looks okay. It's just yields, the dramatic shift in dollar and yields is where we're at. And Powell is now, he's going to have to hold this down. He is so screwed. If dollar falls or yields fall, I think these things are going to rocket. Commodities, precious metals, everything. I think we're going to have everything rally, much like it did in 2002 and 3. like that time frame. The way that he can hold this all down is he's going to have to continue to raise rates, and he's going to have to hold all of it down through rates and the dollar. And that's what's really going to get jiggy here. It's going to get fun, because if we see rates drop and we see the dollar drop, we're off, baby. Let's go. If we see rates remain high and the dollar remain high, it'll hold us down for a little bit. Can it hold it down forever? I don't think so. I think eventually we'll break either way to the upside, I think, and it's just a matter of time. All the patterns suggest that, at least. We're sitting on top of all these patterns. Gold sitting on top of its pattern. We've got copper's in the pattern. Uranium is sitting on top of its patterns. Energy has already broken out. So I think we're going to do what energy does, which could be inflation and higher rates and higher dollar for a period of time, which is possible. But again, we'll see where rates go. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. They do look strong to continue higher, unfortunately. But that's what I've got for today, guys. Thumb up for the content, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the website. And we have a platinum question and answer session on Sunday at 5 p.m. if you'd like to join. So see you later, guys. This is Finding Value.